Ross Benjamin, joined by Doug Upstone. We're going to be covering the Midwest region of the NCAA tournament. Great time of year to be a sports fan, Doug. Boy, oh boy, Doug, can anybody beat Kentucky? Seems to be the popular question on every March Madness preview show I turn on TV. What's your thoughts as far as that goes?
Well, Ross, sometimes we've gotten a little bit of heat about these videos about being too long. So, I can make this one really short. Take Kentucky. We're done. No, okay, all right, I'll finish the whole thing off here. Yes, Kentucky's going to win the region, okay? There's a regional here, Ross. There's no question about it. They're going to the Final Four. It's just how the rest of the region will play out that adds some interest here. Now, so I got Kentucky moving all the way through. Now, looking ahead, to some of the different games, a team that is of interest to me that I think that has a chance to play Kentucky in the regional final is Notre Dame. I think the Irish, this is a little bit different team than what they've had in the past. Now, a lot of people are complaining about their defense, saying it's not top 100 and everything else, but this defense is markedly better than what they've had the last several years. They have the ability to play man-to-man, which they have not had in the last several years. And even though they're smallish, it's a little bit different group. And the one thing that I really admire is with Jerry Grant and Pat Connaughton as seniors, this is really a tough-minded group. And you think of all the games that they've won during the course of the season at crunch time when it mattered. And I think that's what's going to happen if, on the presumption that they meet up with Kansas in the Sweet 16. I think the difference in the game is going to be who's tougher at the end. And as we've seen with Kansas, Ross, they've lost a number of games at the end where they just kind of disappeared, particularly Frank Mason, their point guard, but he's not been the only one. There's been other players as well.
I think they're an overvalued and overrated and overseeded team. I'm referring to Kansas, and I agree with you on all of those points. I do like Notre Dame. I love the way they share the ball. Excellent perimeter shooting team. They may be the best in that regard in the entire country. And I tell you, another team I like to take a look at, I'm looking at a Texas and Notre Dame third-round game. I really like Texas against Butler. I watched them down the stretch, much better than the record would indicate, Doug. I love their interior defense. The big men of Texas really protect the rim. And I think if they ever got to a regional final against Kentucky, their big men at least probably match up against Kentucky better than anybody in the country. Unfortunately, the rest of their game leaves a lot to be desired. So I think the Notre Dame-Texas winner in round 3 gets to the regional final to take on Kentucky. It's tough to go against Kentucky, Doug.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's even tough, Ross. I think it's impossible to go against Kentucky. I mean, I can't think of a scenario to where that they're going to be challenged. The only challenge that I could see is if their second team played their first team. Okay, I think that would be the biggest challenge in this region altogether. Now, your point on Texas, I think, is well taken. I think where I disagree with you though is their guard play. It's just too inconsistent. And I think what's going to happen is that Notre Dame will spread them out and take those big men away from the basket, or certainly do things to pull them away. And if they don't, Notre Dame should be raining threes on Texas. And I think that's going to be the difference in the game. I think that's when we go to if on the presumption Notre Dame and Kentucky is the regional final, I think Notre Dame would have a shot. I think certainly not a very good one, especially over 40 minutes. But in terms of the characteristics that could win the game for them, I would think they'd have to be north of a dozen or more threes. So from that standpoint, so I think that would have to be a big thing. And I think as a team overall, their shooting percentage would have to be at least 55%. And teams shooting 55% against Kentucky does not happen. That's why I think ultimately you have to play the Wildcats. I'm not saying it's a good bet, and I'm not saying they're going to cover each of their games leading up to the Final Four, but to get there, I don't see how you don't take the Wildcats.
Yeah, I agree again. I mean, I like either Notre Dame or Texas in the regional final against Kentucky. We both like Kentucky. Doug is adamant that he likes a Kentucky-Notre Dame regional final. So, and then again, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to take Kentucky in this region, let alone in this NCAA tournament. We'll be back with another regional preview soon. Once again, you can get all of our articles on the NCAA tournament, both myself and Doug Upstone, by going to sbrpicks.com. Thank you for joining us, folks.